A very good afternoon, Team Zimbabwe. Masquerasi. My name is Ronald Wekwamakusha. We are taking a look on how the economy of Zimbabwe should have looked like. Stay tuned as we explore more. So, taking a look on what the Hope said here, it's very important for us to be able to take a look on what was happening in the economy of Zimbabwe in the yesteryears, how the economy of Zimbabwe was functioning, and how it is supposed to be functioning right now. So I'm putting this right here on the screen. Did Hope say that I walked into Stanbic Bank on 3 February 1994 with the Zimbabwean dollar 2,573 and got US $300 for my holiday in London. I walked into the same bank on 29 July 1994 with 2,867 and got 351 for my holiday allowance in London again. The system worked before the massive ZANU-PF looting started. So on the screen here, this is the evidence. So this is on his passport. So what was happening is that if you look on the Zimbabwean passport, there is a section yakanyorwa kunzi mari yekune dzimwe nyika yokufambisa, foreign exchange for traveling expenses. So this is done by Zimbabwean banks. You just need to go into any bank with your passport and pay your Zimbabwean dollars, then get forex. But it's no longer happening right now. If you need to go to South Africa, you have to go per road kunochinja mari. That is absurd. That is so shameful. You cannot go to bank right now, deposit Zimbabwean dollars if you want to send money elsewhere outside Zimbabwe. You cannot do it. Even if mwana wako ari kuChina, mwana wako ari South Africa, ari wherever your child is, you cannot go with the Zimbabwean dollars, or you cannot make a transaction. Online payments, you cannot make a transaction using your Zimbabwean dollars or your RTGS account. You cannot make any foreign payment. You need to go per road pavakomana wendo unochinja mari. After unochinja mari pavakomana, then you'll be able to make that transfer. It's so wrong. Why? It's because that function of the banks is now being done by people who are outside the banks, who are in the streets. So when the functions of a bank are overtaken by criminal activity on the roads, that is something which is so dangerous for the economy, and that is something which the nation should look with much agency. We need to deal with this matter. That alone shows that the economy is in tatters. That alone shows that the economy is not functioning, because the economy is hinged on the banking sector. The economy is hinged on the free flow of money, on the circulation of money. That is how an economy it survives. So when this, which is on the screen, is no longer happening, it shows that we really need to restructure the leadership in the nation of Zimbabwe. So we don't need to change the president and the MPs only. No. We need to restructure everything. We need to bring fresh minds at RBZ, fresh minds at the Ministry of Finance, fresh minds in the parastatals and institutions, so that we begin to have coherence within the economy. We begin to have the same language in the economy. And only Advocate Nelson Chamisa can restore that sanity, can do that job. Why? Is because he doesn't have a tainted history. He doesn't have a bad history. His history is clear. His successes are more than his failures. Look at his policy when he was the ICT minister. He came in a few months, boosters were everywhere. Boosters which were not there. A few months after he was made minister, boosters were everywhere. Lines, SIM cards became cheap. So what more if he is made the president? You'd see wonders. You'd see a different Zimbabwe. You'd see a different trajectory altogether. So I believe in Advocate Nelson Chamisa because he is a man with plans. He's a man with economic plans. So what makes you say Chamisa will restore economic sanity? Okay, there are so many plans which are there. If you are following Advocate Nelson Chamisa in this political organization, you'd see that they are talking about a functional banking system. They are talking about a functional economy. So if you have a functional banking system, it means you can make transactions. What you need to understand is that businesses, they go where they can take out their money after bringing it in. So in Zimbabwe, if you bring in money in Zimbabwe today, you have to risk robbers for you to be able to siphon out your money to your own country. And that alone stops businesses to come into the nation of Zimbabwe. So what Advocate Nelson Chamisa will simply do is to make sure that banks, the functions of banks are restored. Once the functions of banks are restored, what it means is that investors will know that once we get to Zimbabwe, we'll be able to put our money, we'll be able to save our money in the banks, we'll be able to retrieve our money out of the banks to our own countries. If you look on the policy inconsistencies which were happening in 2019, people lost their savings because people had US dollar accounts. When I opened my bank accounts, I paid $5 deposit, $5 as deposit. Where is that $5 because I never used it? It was a deposit mari inofana kubata chikwama changu, which means bank randakavhura naro Stewart Bank rine $5 yangu yandakaripa kuti inobata chikwama, which was never used. Where is that $5? If I go right now, hamusina chinhu. So understanding that alone, zvinokubatsira kuti uone kuti bringing back the banking sector sanity will help the economy to begin to recover, because the people will begin to trust the banking processes. People will begin to bank money into banks. Vanhu havasi kufamba vanhu unozwa kuti vanhu havadi kugara nezvikwama kumba. Why? If you are in South Africa, une chikwama chako chiri muHarare, just imagine kuti you want to make an urgent transaction. You have to come back to Harare to take that money from your pillow or from your mattress and make that transaction. But if we have a viable banking system, you just need to go online, make a payment, and goes on. So those inconveniences, even the business sector itself. So you would see that that issue needs to be solved. Okay, Anzi, na Munashe, banking is not the only primary pillar of the economy, though. You know, we are talking about there is a specific issue here. The banking sector is a key in the recovery of an economy, although it is not only the only pillar. That is the reason why there are policy frameworks which are there. If you look on the mining sector, there is a policy framework which is there and which is clear. If you look on the issue of land, there is a policy which is clear. You are talking about land, you are talking about agriculture, you are talking about manufacturing. But let me answer you, Munashe, clearly. Number one, you need to understand that myself, if I go to any bank today, I will not be able to come out with a loan. I want to do agriculture. I have a piece of land, but I don't have capital. I will go to a bank and say, I need to run this project. Can you finance it? They will not give me any loan. Right now in Zimbabwe, it is not happening. I can't find a loan. I can't get a loan right now in Zimbabwe. So if you think about that I go to any bank today and fail to secure capital for my project? How am I going to utilize that land? How am I going to utilize mining, agriculture? How? So you can actually see that if we fix the banking sector, people will begin to deposit their money into the banks for savings. Then banks will take that money, which is being put for savings, and will begin to give loans, will begin to issue loans to people. That is how all things should function. So we are talking about a bank because a bank is key in terms of running agriculture, running agric, because you need to finance it. You need to capitalize everything. Even if you are to run a business, whatever, you need to capitalize that business. So mari izvezvizvi dzakararama pilo, mari dziri kufanira kunge dzichiinvestwa. So I think I have answered you. And the banks does not work in isolation. I admire your drive, but Chamisa should provide a proper roadmap to or seek advice from the experience. We are willing to assist. You know, Munashe, if you have anything and it to contribute, you are free to come live on this program so that you give your own ideas, you give your own thoughts. We are free. This program is free. This platform is free for any person who think that he does have anything to share. And I believe that even people like Advocate Nelson Chamisa will be able to hear your ideas, to see what you have to say, and probably they can even reach out to you. So I think there is a proper roadmap which is dealing with that issue and restoration of the economic sanity. And I just gave you an example, which is on the screen, of how banks were functioning in the past. And that is no longer happening right now. That only shows or proves that the economy is on its knees, because kana usina chikwama hapana chaunokwanisa kuita. Iwewe kumba kwako Munashe, you know very well that if you don't have a wallet, if you don't have money with you, nothing can happen, nothing can move. And that is the situation of Zimbabwe right now, because mari yese yakaroverwa mpilo. So izvozvozvo I have answered. And the loans but the only are not the only sources of finance. Okay, you know what, Munashe, can you tell me, a 22-year-old, a 25-year-old, or even a 30-year-old, where can that person get money to finance a project? Where can that person get money to finance a business? Because I have seen people who are actually going to work today, who are actually working within the civil service, who are actually failing to finance their own projects. I have seen it so many times. So the reason why I'm saying so is because today I might be earning $300, but I have school fees to pay. I have brothers who I need to support. I have parents who I need to support, because the economy is not doing its social work, its social service. So everybody will be looking at me who is employed, which means, where am I going to get an extra dollar to invest? So if you are not corrupt, if you are not a thief, it's difficult for you to actually progress in the nation of Zimbabwe, to actually go up. I have seen it because I have met so many people who say, guys, we have ideas. Guys, we have all these business plans, but we cannot push them through because there is no capital. Not everyone does have an opportunity to start anything because of capital. The capital constraint is so much and is so great. So Anza, how do I send you my writings? Okay, Munashe, the easiest way is for us to talk via WhatsApp, and there is a number which is appearing right here on the screen: 078 444 0788 or 78 444 0788. That is the number. Talk to me through WhatsApp so that we can engage further. If you have anything to share, we can publicly have a discussion then to note how can we help the nation of Zimbabwe best. But based on the policies, the representative Advocate Nelson Chamisa is presenting the best alternative, the best alternative government ever. Once I started businesses with nothing, I've never taken a loan. How did you start a business? Because you know what? Your nothing is not my nothing. Do you know that $1,000 is nothing to somebody? Because kuna vanhu vari kutonogocha 1,000 US, vanotoenda unogocha 1,000 US, but somebody ari kutadza kuwana dollar rekutenga machunks. So your nothing is not my nothing. My nothing is not your nothing. Let us be clear. Let us be truthful to ourselves. I have been in business. I'm in business. I have tried to run so many projects in life. And I know very well that it's difficult for you to grow. It's difficult for you to sail up. So I think I will need to engage you further so that you explain to the people of Zimbabwe how you started with nothing, how you started with $0. This is the message from Munashe. He's saying that he started the business with nothing, which means 00000, and it's almost impossible for you to do so. Unogona kutanga uchitengesa masweets, that is not nothing. Imari yatoiswa iyoyo. And Hansi, it is challenging, yes, but not impossible. You know what? When we say impossible, we are looking at the numbers. How many people do we have? We have millions in Zimbabwe. How many adults do we have in Zimbabwe? If we have, let's say, 7 million adults in Zimbabwe, how many out of those 7 million adults are able to start up a business? That is what is very important. If we have the smallest number of those people managing or being able to start up something, it shows that it's impossible. Because those who are actually doing it, some of them, they are connected. Some of them, they're using mama resources ekumba kwavo. It's like, when my father owns Makombi, I can use that opportunity to start my own kombi business because my father is already into it. And I will say, ndakatanga ndisina chandinacho, just because ndakatora kombi 1 yamudhara yange yakapaka, ndikatanga kushika nayo. I will say, ndakatanga ndisina anything, ndakatanga on $0. I can probably say that. But that is not the case. The case is about Iwewe right now, starting something with $0. It's impossible. Let us be honest. You need to put something so that you get something. Just imagine for somebody who is paying fees, who is paying rent, who is paying medical bills from that small business. There is no growth. So I think I have given you my number, Munashe. Let's talk on WhatsApp so that I can bring you live on this platform and explain to the people of Zimbabwe how you did it. But the topic for today was President Chamisa is going to restore the economy of Zimbabwe, making sure that every sector, every area is working. Agriculture, the use of land. I think I put the issue of land in 3 categories, where we said land, it comprises of tourism, mining, and agriculture. And that is the full utilization of land in Zimbabwe. And Advocate Nelson Chamisa, if you look on his blueprints, on his policies, he's willing to make sure that land becomes productive in all those 3 categories. And that is what is very, very, very important. The issue of employment creation, the issue of a viable banking sector, the issue of transparency, and the issue of making sure that each and every institution is being led by capable people. Also, the people employed there are capable people. That is key in terms of driving this economy forward. That is key in terms of driving this economy to the higher levels. As he mentioned yesterday, every person does have a role to play in this economy, in rebuilding this economy. That is making sure that iwewe uri kuita pako, ivo vachiita pavo, everyone doing his own part. My name is Ronald Wekwamakusha, and I think I've answered Munashe well here, so that we can engage further. If he is willing to engage further with me, I'm free. I'm there. I'm ready to engage with you live on this platform, live pano paafrica and beyond television network, because this is the people's platform. Tinenge tichida kuti titaure kuti nyika yofamba sei.